there he is.
Please accept
Made
me.
it. I got you. I got you. How you doing?
Good, man. Good to see you. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, just yeah, kind of doing what I guess what most people are doing just now, and yeah, not up to a whole lot. What about you? Where are you just now?
Yeah, I'm in Spain at the moment, and nice weather. Can't go to the beach. We can't hike really what we like to do, but we can't complain. Obviously, there's a lot more people around Europe, especially in States, that are struggling being in an apartment. We have a house with a nice garden. Kids can go around, so we are very fortunate and grateful to be in this position. Obviously, it's you know, it's tough being in Spain, which is next to Italy, probably the country that goes through the hardest time at the moment. So we have been now, I think it's 6th week in 24/7 quarantine lockdown.
Yeah.
It's honestly, as a tennis player, it's really weird to be in one place more than 5-6 weeks, as you know. I mean, I have not experienced that probably for 15 years.
Yeah.
So, but I'm happy because I'm with my kids. You know, I'm really glad to be with the family.
Yeah, I mean, that's been the one thing for me that's been like, it's been nice. Like, I've got to see my kids like do things for the first time that usually when we're away traveling and stuff, like you miss. Like, I saw my kids going out cycling on their own for the first time and swimming on their own for the first time and stuff like that. So it's actually been nice to see lots of those things. But yeah, trying to teach them stuff is difficult. It's not easy. They don't always want to listen to their parents. So yeah, that's been challenging.
So who is more patient, Kim or you?
Me, 100% more
Really?
patient. Yeah, definitely. Kim's great with the kids, but yeah, I mean, I think I've got more patience. Yeah, for sure.
It's funny with us in our family. I think that's divided. I think in terms of physical activity, when it comes to, you know, that part of the development of our children, where I feel like it's more of kind of my role to be, you know, kind of leading that out of the two parents. I feel like I feel more comfortable in that situation. So I feel probably slightly more patient, but in anything else, it's Yelena. You know, she's definitely more patient. But I'm also learning. You know, as I told you previously, I feel like it's so weird for a tennis player to be in a full lockdown for so long. So I'm really getting to know myself as a father and as a husband on a level that I have not had a chance to experience for the last 5 years that I've been a father. I don't know. How did you feel? Did you feel anything similar, like when you unfortunately got injured and didn't travel as much?
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. That was like, yeah, it's difficult in lots of ways, like, because you sort of I guess you're learning a kind of new way of living, because you're so used to the traveling and the structure and everything that the tour kind of brings. And then obviously, you know, you get injured or with what's happening just now, and you're at home all of the time, you know, with your family. It's, you know, it's a big change, but like the positives certainly kind of outweighed the negatives. Like, you know, I kind of realized that if, like, once tennis is done for me, like, you know, I'll be just fine. I was always worried about what that might look like and what that would be like, kind of just being in one place all the time. But I enjoyed it. It was good. Yeah,
I watched your documentary on was it on Amazon or net? Yeah. And that really, you know, kind of struck me in a way, you know, I mean, first of all, huge respect for you, you know, trying to come back after everything that you've been through in the last 3-4 years. And as someone that has been through a major injury, but, you know, I've been fortunate that there has been only one actual major injury for me, which was the surgery of the elbow that I had in beginning of 2018. And I was absent from the tour for 6 months. And it was really hard to kind of get off that adrenaline rush, you know, because I think tennis players, you know, for sure, all the athletes in general, because that's kind of a nature of our of what we do as athletes. We're constantly like high on energy. We need competition. We need to, you know, challenge ourselves in every area of life in a way, because if you feel like you're still in your professional career, and as long as the season is on, and for us it's the longest season of all sports, right, from January to like mid-November, you feel like you can never really fully relax, you know. You feel like you of course we all have ways to balance ourselves, and of course you need to figure out a way to relax every single day, because otherwise you'll burn out, but you never really fully relax. And when I took those 6 months, it was the first time that I skipped the slam ever since I became a professional player. And it was really I was not feeling any unease. I was feeling actually happy to be at home, happy to do some other things that are always kind of waiting to be addressed, maybe because there's never really time or energy really to think about some other things or do other things. And at that time, actually, Jelena was pregnant with our second child, so it was a perfect time for me to be at home. But you know, going through the injuries and trying to kind of bounce back and find that motivation again, I don't know, for me, I would like to hear from you, because for me it was never really a problem to be motivated. And I must say that I probably thought that I will deal mentally and emotionally better with the competition once I'm back from injury than it actually was. I felt like I was very confident in myself. I was like, well, you know, I'm fine. I'm gonna, you know, practice for whatever weeks, and I'm gonna be okay. It's, you know, nothing that I'm not familiar with, right? But once I stepped on the court, it took me probably about 4 or 5 months to really start playing the way I wanted to play. So how it was for you when you came back first from like a long absence from the tour?
Yeah, I mean, I had 2 injuries. One was my back in 2013, where I had the operation, and I was out kind of 3 or 4 months, and then obviously the hip has kind of been the last couple of years on and off. And I think, like you say, it's the psychological side of it is is the toughest part in many ways to come back from, like being away from the competition for a long period of time. You lose something a little bit. You lose a little bit of an edge that you need to. I feel like you need to kind of work to get back, and I don't know. You lose a little bit of your aura or whatever, like, because maybe people see you coming back from an injury. There's a sign of weakness there, so you need to kind of build that back up again by winning matches and stuff. But yeah, it's
true
that the psychological aspect, I think, is kind of sometimes harder than the physical aspect coming back from injuries, for sure. Yeah, look, I mean, we've got about an hour, don't we, really, to chat just now, and we obviously got like a ton.
We got 20 minutes left, so it's good.
Yeah. we got a ton of questions sent through, and we'll try and get through kind of as many of them as possible. And I think there was lots of people asking about like our careers kind of against each other, and maybe matches we've played and the first times we played against each other. Maybe we could just chat about that for a little bit. I mean, do you remember much about when we first played? I would have been, well, what, we were like 11?
Yes, I think we were 11. It was France. I think my memories from when we first met each other were probably significantly different from your memories.
I only remember the score. I don't remember.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You kicked my ass, man. You blew me off the court. I won a game or 2 games, I think. Like 6-1, 6-love or something like this.
And it was on like one of those old school, like it was on a singles court, right? Like no I remember
Yes.
doing like no doubles lines and stuff. But yeah, it was in France. But yeah, I don't remember loads about the match. But yeah, just
Was that was my first international tournament ever? Was that
okay.
was that your first, or you played pro before?
It would have been one of the first ones. Yeah, it would have been. It's a great tournament that's still going just now in Tar.
Yes.
But, yeah, I lost. I ended up losing in the final of the tournament, and I had match point, sudden death deuce, drive volley to win, and I missed it and completely capitulated after I lost the match point. So
I think you're forgiven.
Yeah,
and an 11-year-old drive volley, I think you were not really expected to make that one a winner.
Still hurts. So.
I still can't make it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
No, that was I mean huge respect for Tarbs and everyone involved in that organization of that tournament, because it's definitely one of the most famous under 12 junior tournaments in Europe and in the world. I mean, I know that Del Potro played it, Gasquet, Nadal played it. I mean, a whole bunch of guys. I mean, I think anyone who really wanted to compete like in junior days internationally has played that tournament. It's really, really nice tournament.
Yeah, it is brilliant. You get great crowds, don't they, as well?
Yeah.
To watch. It's nice, to get that, at such a young age is pretty cool.
Do you have the tape from any of your matches from Tarp or no?
I have seen them, but I don't have them on me. But I think my mum's got a couple of them. But,
please, if you find the tape from our match, delete it.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I still have not. I would love to see it, because I've seen actually, I think on Instagram, Nadal, Gasquet.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah.
I've seen. Yeah, you see little clips of them sometimes on Instagram, and yeah, it's funny. Like a lot of the mannerisms and stuff, like even then was kind of
exactly. Both Rafa and Richard are. I mean, they're kind of like exactly the mannerism, the way they look, the way they play. It's copy paste. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I know. One of the questions that people were asking was what did we feel was the best match that we played against each other? It'd be interesting to know from your perspective and see if we have similar views on it, because obviously, I don't know, sometimes you feel like you're playing great when you're winning, maybe not always like the matches that you lose.
Yeah. Well, the first couple of matches that come to my mind are the semifinals of Australian Open in 2012.
Yeah.
The one that lasted 5 hours almost.
Yeah.
That's
the same match that I've got.
Yeah.
Written down. Yeah, it was like 7-5 in the fifth. And for me, for me, that was, even though I lost, I think that was probably the best match we played. Probably.
I think you had a break point or something in fifth, like late in the fifth.
Yeah, it was a 5-all. It was an unbelievable rally.
And it was one of the regular rallies we had, like around 57 times.
Yeah. But I would say that was. Yeah, I would agree with that. What other one were you thinking?
I think I felt like I played well, although you beat me in Olympic Games in London on grass in Wimbledon 2012 in semis. It was 7-5, 7-5, I think. I still feel like we both played pretty well. I felt like the quality of the match was pretty good. You were just better in the decisive moments on both sets, but I felt like in terms of the quality of tennis, that was actually one of the matches that I felt like of course I was devastated when I lost, because it was Olympic Games and everything, but I was happy with the way I played, because I played well throughout the entire tournament, and then you ended up winning for the gold medal, and when you played the whole tournament. You played fantastic. It was probably one of the best matches you ever played against Roger in the finals, right? I mean,
yeah, for me, yeah, Yeah, for me, the final for sure. It's interesting because my coach actually at the time, Danny Valverde, he had messaged me the other day because he'd seen some clips of that match in the Olympics on Instagram, and he said to me, like, it looked like it was a great match, and my memory of it was that it was like not that good. You know, my memory was that the conditions were really difficult. It was pretty windy. But yeah, he said that that wasn't the case and that it was good. But it's quite interesting sometimes, like how, I don't know.
That's how good you were. That's how good you were.
You know,
that was kind of an average match for you.
Yeah, at that time, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird that sometimes, obviously, you come off the court and tennis players always talk a lot about how they felt like in the match, but actually, it's not always the reality. You know, of what was. You know what was going on, but yeah.
Did you? I mean, we've known each other for a long time, and we talked about this. Obviously, you know. By the way, it's really. I'm really happy to have this kind of live and this kind of chat with you, because I don't feel like we've had many of these chats throughout the years. We did have, you know, when we practiced with each other and we would chat and so forth, we always had a really good relationship. But I think because of the rivalry and because of everything, we just couldn't be too close, I guess, and kind of share a lot of things. But it's interesting to kind of reflect and go back in time on how we have observed and how we have felt about certain matches. And I know that we are quite similar mentally in terms of being perfectionists and always like looking for an edge, always looking to improve. At times, like a lot of times, not really being satisfied, as you mentioned, like after a match that was semis of Olympic Games, you won in straight sets, you were still not really kind of pleased with the quality of tennis. Many times it happens to me as well. So my question to you is, do you really think that psychologically it's a positive thing that you are not pleased with the way you played after winning, let's say, a big tournament or a big match like that? Or you see it as something maybe less positive? How do you perceive that?
So I would say that it's really important, like even after a big win, to like be, not to just be critical of yourself for the sake of it, but to, if there's something you felt on the court that could be better, to actually voice that with your team and the people that are working with you. Because sometimes, I don't know, sometimes in those moments things can get missed as well. Like everyone's so excited and elated and happy that you've actually won an event, that you can sometimes miss the things that actually you could do better as well. But yeah, I think that at the same time, like it's something like looking back with the issues I've had the last couple of years, I do wish that I'd enjoyed those moments more, because when you see that maybe the end is coming, you realize like, shit, I should have enjoyed like the wins and the, you know, big matches, or, you know, even some of the ones that you lost as well, that were great matches, to try and, you know, get some enjoyment out of them, because for sure we'll miss it when it's, you know, when it's not there anymore. So yeah, it's, I don't know. Yeah, it's important to be critical of yourself even in like good moments, but you need to try and enjoy the wins. I wish I'd done that a bit better, for sure.
Yeah, that's what they say, like being kind of constructively, positively critical of yourself actually helps you find that extra motivation you need to kind of go out there on the court and constantly strive to improve your game, develop your game, keep on going regardless of the result, regardless of the, so to say, the end of the journey. It's the journey that matters more than the actual goal, right? When you reach the destination. And I really resonate with that kind of philosophy in tennis and also in life. But you're right. We both agree that the journey is more important than the destination. Destination is something that obviously determines a lot the journey and how it's going to go. And it obviously, I I believe that setting up like clear short-term and long-term goals are very important.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you mentioned something very, very important, I think, there, where you said, like, you wish that you have probably enjoyed more certain moments in your career. And I feel exactly the same.